Alright, so we're going to be dry hopping in a keg today. Made some scales, bowl sanitised, chucks cloth sanitised, and using a paint strainer bag as well. Clean and sanitised keg that we're going to put our beer into. Yes, as clean as we can get it. It's just sitting in sanitizer. This has also been in the sanitizer, plus this. Do it again just for the video. So I've cleaned all that out. Doesn't matter so much. Anyway, get our chucks cloth nicely sanitised. Sort of like our first offence to filter out the hops. And we've got our paint strainer bag after that. Now this is because I've just made a beer and it tastes like a little bit off how I want it. I want it to have a little bit more hop character and bitterness. See, it's just not quite, it's not bad. I feel it could be better. Shout out to Ruapea Brewing, just visited them in New Zealand. Got some Motueka hops here. Turn that on. See how much I can squeeze in. I'm going to go the whole bag. Just wanted to know roughly 72 grams. Cool. Now we just want to make this into a nice sort of ball which we can tie a knot in. But what I have done in the past is folded it up. I'm going to try sort of a ball technique here and tie a knot in it. We need to leave as much room as possible for these to expand when it's submerged in the beer. So we'll get that straightened out nicely. Watch out for any leaks on the side. Cool. Perhaps could use a rubber band or something here. Up so they can expand and still fairly tight. The looser the better. Woo. Could have been a disastrous. Just want to make sure none of these folds come out, but we get it as loose as we can. This is the first line of defence though, so it doesn't really matter. So none of these have popped out the side. It looks like it's just starting there, so I'm going to stop there. I'm going to do the same with our paint strainer bag as our second line of defence. Cool. Into that it goes. Just to stop the hops getting into our beer lines and stuff like that. So there's a knot there. Basically, so I want this as long as possible. What we're going to do is a bit of mind your ears. Just blowing the sanitizer through. Cool. I'll just double check that we've got all the sanitizer out of here, because we don't need that in our beer. Alright. Don't worry about the foam. That can all stay in there. No problem. Just make sure you can see. You can't, so we'll just aim that down a bit. Phew. Let's go down. Right. So, take our hops and chuck them in. They're hanging down to about halfway. So, alright, so we've got our sanitised keg, which we've tipped all of the sanitizer out of. got our hops in a chucks cloth and in a paint strainer bag. Now we've cut our bag here a little bit. Let's remove that bit. Just need enough that you can sort of tie a knot, or you can use these 2 bits of elastic. I don't know, you figure it out yourself. So just what I've done, thought of doing. Don't lose track of those. So there's a couple of bits there. And then the bottom of our lids, we've got a little hole we can tie our hops through. I think it really matters how you tie it. Sheesh, we'll do a shoelace. Make it easy to undo later. You can also just drop this bag into the keg without tying it on. Cool. So that will now hang into our keg. Over there. That'll hang into our keg almost to the bottom, but not quite. Chuck that in there. Now, full with CO2. We'll need to purge out the oxygen, and that's ready to fill with beer. Transfer in as normal, and those hops will be about this far off the bottom. So at the end of the beer, it'll remove the hops out basically. Cool. Cheers. Yeah, I'm not a